Alright guys, how are we? Just walking through the streets of Exarchia at the moment, and it's pretty close to where we live, but Exarchia I think is actually going to be quite a good opportunity for investment in the near future. And you can buy apartments here for probably 60 to 80,000, either 1, 2, 3 bedroom, just depending. I did see recently like a three bedroom apartment here that was pretty run down, but would have been easy to renovate. It's just sort of cosmetic stuff. It was 67,000 euro, and it was on the top floor, so probably about 5 stories high, I think. So there is a height limit here. Because we're right in the heart of Athens, we've got about 8 or 9 stories. So, but in other parts, once you get out of the centre, you're sort of down to probably 5 stories high. But this place was literally on the 5th story, and yeah, quite a good location. So there's good opportunities for investment. Now, the thing that you could do with that if you bought it is actually rent that out to students, because the universities are right nearby. So there's a shortage of actual accommodation, rental accommodation for students around here. So there's huge demand. The other one is basically Airbnb, and you're going to get a much higher return with that. The only problem that you're going to have with Exarchia, particularly at this point, it looks a bit run down, and it's a bit confronting because there's a lot of graffiti, and the outside or the exterior of some buildings look really crap, for lack of a better word. So you just need to be careful of that. But look, it's so close to the centre of the city. You've got metro rail systems, underground rail systems, that are pretty close as well. So they're within 5-10 minute walk. Plus you've got bus as well, but the metro systems are really good. Now, what you'll find is that most people will come here to the heart of Athens. They'll stay for a couple of days, and then what they'll do is they'll go out to they'll go to Piraeus and catch a ferry out to the islands, and that's where they'll have their holiday. So then they'll come back to Athens when they're about to fly out. So it is actually a very good opportunity for a rental, or even if you just want to keep a place for yourself. Because what a lot of Greek people do is they have a place in the city, then they have their place in the islands. And that's really the ideal. So the summertime is spent in the islands, and then the winter is really spent in the city. So it could actually be a nice little investment. Now, if you're looking at the PT 5 flags, Perpetual Traveller 5 flags, and you're wanting to have a domicile and playground, and you want to have a few different things up your sleeve, different assets to leverage on, this could actually be quite a good little a situation. Now, the best possible thing to do is actually buy a little apartment for maybe 60,000, a lazy 60, 70,000 euro, renovate it, put it on the Airbnb market, and then what you do is basically engage one of the local Airbnb managers to manage the property. So while you're not using the property, you've basically got a manager who's sitting there managing it for you. And so you've got income coming in from your Airbnb. I think typically what the Airbnb management people do is they take between 15 and 25%. You'd want to negotiate that with them, but they'll basically come in, organise the cleaning, key. If anything goes wrong, then they'll basically come and organise everything. So that is actually quite a good option. In regards to renting to people like students, I don't know, I've never rented to students. but I wouldn't be, I'm not really that keen on it, to be honest. And the reason why is because you just want people to pay. You don't want ongoing issues. So with short-term accommodation like Airbnb, you basically have a capacity to only have short-term stays, and you're getting a much higher return on investment. So in between your on-season and off-season, there's a drop of around 30%. So you still have a 70% occupancy rate compared to the summer season, where people are sort of wanting to go out to the Greek islands and have a good time there for a couple of weeks and then come back and stay for a couple of days. It's a good investment in regards to that. Basically, your return on investment is about €9 per square metre. Now, you just got to be careful with that, because real estate agents here will do a couple of different tricks. The real estate market is not licensed or regulated like, say, Australia. And you have to be sort of cautious about what it is you do, because if they know you're a foreigner, then they're going to try and get top dollar from you. So just be cautious of that. The other thing that they'll do is basically try and rent it off you. So an example that we've had is that they've said, oh, look, we'll give you, say, €250 a month for your unit. I know full well they're going to sublet that unit out on Airbnb for probably 6 times that. So don't be hoodwinked with that sort of crap. You want to be dealing with somebody that you can trust and someone that you sort of know, and it's hard if you're sort of working overseas. Some sort of investors that we've spoken to, particularly that do flipping and that sort of stuff around different countries, they'll basically say, don't rent stuff out, just things get messy. Just buy it, renovate it, sell it, make your profit, get out. So when you sell your properties, I think you pay about 2% in tax, 2% to the real estate agent and about 2% in tax, I think. Don't quote me on that though, but I know it's 2% to the real estate agent. So, and then your rates are pretty cheap, like compared to what we were paying in Australia, they're like nothing. So it might be a couple of €100 a year, so it's really not a lot. So if you can actually buy a property, put it on Airbnb, and then so that you're renting it out, getting some rental return when you're not there, and then when you want to use it to go to the Greek islands, you want somewhere to stay for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, you basically take it off the Airbnb listing, and yeah, you use it yourself. So as I said, that's probably a good option for a lot of people. It's Greece has a lot to offer, not only in historical areas to see, but also in regards to the weather and the beaches and the islands and skiing in the winter. Not that it's a massive skiing area, but it does have ski fields and that sort of stuff. So yeah, it might be a good investment for you. And as I said, if you do buy, you may not be able to liquidate your property immediately. You might have to wait. So, but if you don't mind, could be a good investment. Anyway guys, hope you're having a great day. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I'll do some more videos and keep you posted. There are some really good things that have just been passed, particularly for retirees. So there's a 7% tax that's just been instituted for retirees here. So if you're from overseas and you've got a pension, you'll pay very little tax. So all right guys, stay tuned and I'll continue doing more videos.